Yeah. So, and these kind of things are very to really get into Taoist alchemy. It's confusing, and different um, teachers who are in the public, public teachers of these arts or books you might find, sometimes say different things, and even many different types of techniques. And generally for me, when I went to China, coming from the West, I had a lot of images that Taoist meditation was a visualization based practice, and that there are a lot of these visualization exercises or imagination, use imagination. And when I first went to the training with my principal teacher, we were in very far northern China near the Inner Mongolia and North Korea. We were in this area. And, it was a very, very intense concentration training in the beginning training. And also body transformation training. He was having me hold different postures physically for really long periods of time. Even sometimes, my body would be shaking or this type of thing. And so the training was really quite different from what I had encountered in a books or this kind of thing. And so that can be confusing if you learn from me and we have these different exercises, and then you sometimes read some English books. It can be confusing to try to find a standard. And so when I teach, one is how I was taught, but also from my own experience. I teach from my experience. And after my principal teacher, I had two other teachers. These teachers, my teacher was a lay practitioner. He was not like a monk. He had been ordained as a monk, but he discovered very quickly he felt in the temple life, he couldn't really practice how he wanted to. So he left the temple life. And then his master he found was a hermit. And he found this hermit living in very, very remote China. And then this hermit was a very accomplished Taoist alchemist. And this master trained my teacher. And then he was also very well read in all of the classics. And then I had two other teachers, one who was a monastic, but he was also a very accomplished alchemist. And it was wonderful because everything he taught confirmed what my first teacher had taught me. It was all really the same, many of the same basic approaches and this type of thing. So for me, I feel the way that we're approaching the alchemy training is we can think from the northern, they call like a northern complete perfection school. This is one branch of Taoist practice. Yeah. But I try to teach, and I've tried to look at these things from a very universal view and from the view of just our human body, because just like anatomy, a different race or different people, all of the anatomical functions or these types of things are the same in human beings. And I also feel that for energy development, this should also be something very universal. And I try to look from this point of view. So today we'll work with some ideas of Dantian, very basic training of Dantian, and this idea of the earth gate. So the earth gate can have a different meaning based upon a stage of your development. The very basic idea of the earth gate is your perineal area, and that in the center of the perineal area is an energy gate or center. And this is given different names. The acupuncture point that's in this area is called the Huiyin. And this is a really important gate, and this is usually where we'll sometimes first start to have almost like electric sensations, or you have feelings of spiraling sometimes, vibrations in this area. And this is also because we're usually as adults, we've gone through sexuality, we've had sex, and maybe we have different sexual inclinations, this type of thing. So our attention goes down to this area. And also our energy, and this is what we're going to learn today, our energy changes, and our energy also goes down into this area to allow for us to have a sexual response. Okay? And so then this is generally, whether we have sex or not, energy is coming out of this area. Okay, and so this is some people talking about Taoism in the West, they overly focus on sex or the sexual organs in some schools, some books in the West. And this is a bit of misunderstanding. It's not even you have sex. This area will have had so much attention to this area. It's like a very open energetically. So just energy can really just flow out of this area. And so, and this is one of some of the basic practices we start to able to change this direction, or we change this flow of the energy from out to up. Okay, and so I'm going to draw a little picture to illustrate some of these points, and we can get a clear idea. Okay, so here's the bean man. And we have the navel here, and this is our Mingmen point here. Mingmen means life gate, gate of life. This is the Hyakue, Baihui in Chinese. And this means the 100 meeting point, 100 gatherings area. And this is the Huiyin. Okay. And so I'm going to draw another picture, but this is just for reference. This is my teacher called the secret meridian. It's a horizontal meridian which runs from the navel to the Mingmen. In the middle of this meridian, we have a middle point here, which sometimes this is called the yellow palace, or the middle life gate, or the center life gate point, or sometimes called the true life gate point. Many different names, but this is a point where energies descend from here into the Dantian. Okay, and so when we're in the womb, and even when we're children, in the womb there's an umbilicus here, and so then this is nutrition flows in, but also energies flow in from the mother. And when these energies flow in from this middle point, they descend into the Dantian. Okay, and so this is like a pathway that is created when we're in the womb with the mother. Now, the important dividing line is like a pre-puberty and post-puberty. Okay, so when we go into puberty as a young teenagers, these meridians, which are running horizontally and also from the middle Mingmen descend into the Dantian, these meridians start to drop from Dantian into Huiyin, like this. Okay, and so then this kind of a pathway, it should be straight. I just drew a little crooked, but this pathway starts from Dantian into Huiyin. Energetically, it's an energetic path. And then from that point on, energies, even just from the Huiyin area, energies can come out of the body, but especially energies will move from the Huiyin into the sexual organ. And this also is the pathway, like the Jing energies will come from the kidneys and the Mingmen into the Dantian and flow down into the Huiyin to also facilitate the production of sexual liquids. So both men and women create different types of physical matter. Women create egg, menstrual fluids, and also sexual liquids. And men, we also create sexual liquids. And so these sexual liquids are the foundation of the sexual liquids is energetic. This is an important concept. Okay. And so then this is a process where it's like a more and more of a doorway becomes open down here in this lower part of the body. And we call this the earth gate. And so that's in alchemy practice, we become a little more familiar. We do sometimes some basic exercises with this area. And then we also develop a type of skill over time. We have different attribute training exercises where after puberty, this becomes directional. There's a direction flowing down. It has a downward direction. And we start to learn about this area. And then here we can have an uplifting or an upward direction, which goes back into the dantian. And so this is a first kind of skill, is we can, from this area, draw up into the dantian, okay, like that. Later, from this area, we can draw into the coccyx bone and the tailbone. This is like a step 2. At step 1, we just go from the earth gate up into the dantian, like that, okay? And so we'll a little work with some basic. This is a very, very basic first kind of step exercise I'm going to teach today. And as with any of these are like attribute training exercises or a skill. The basic way that we train these is we just do a few repetitions, or we do maybe counting or a few minutes or something, and then we let it go. Important thing, we don't obsess and we don't overdo these kinds of exercises, because we're trying to engender and return to some kind of natural response in the body. And so this is like we do something artificial a little bit, and then we let it go. And then maybe another practice session, we do this again a little bit, and then we let it go. And eventually it kind of, because our body and our energy system has a memory of the pre-puberty time. There are those like a dormant or latent memories of how our energy moved at that time, how different things functioned at that time. And so these exercises over time will awaken those memories, and then you enter into a natural state like this. And so your energies will move differently, or you have different responses in the body. And the Taoists oftentimes use this term, returning to childhood. So you return to something like a childlike state. Okay? But in the beginning, we have to sometimes use artificial methods to try to jumpstart different processes. And so when working with the earth gate, we do that. And then this also gets into the men and women have different barriers in practice. And so one of the barriers for women is dealing with blood, okay? Because many women have given childbirth, which this is like, weakens the woman's blood, because so much of the woman's nutrition and energies create the human body of their child. And then also women have the menstrual cycle, and they're losing the blood after puberty. And this also weakens the energies and the power of the blood. And so women, we sometimes will teach some different exercises that are beneficial for women to help this rebalancing and the strengthening of the blood. Men, we're more losing chi energy through our emotion. We sometimes have more reactivity and more anger, but also men, we discharge a lot of sexual liquids. when we have some sexual response. And then this is a way, because those are reproductive liquids that are highly charged with energy, and essence energy particularly, then these are discharged from the body. And then over time, this lowers the man's energies. And this, if we look at lifespan, it's quite often, many times, women will actually live longer than men. And the Taoists talk about this because men, we're easier to lose so much of our essence energy, and we're also young. We're very external. We project things outward. And so sometimes there's some differences in the beginning of men and women in the alchemical path. And these are some ideas. But both men and women need to work to strengthen this earth gate area, and to also, it becomes a little more sealed and able to have some upward or uplifting quality, so the energies will begin to flow back into the dantian. Okay? And so we'll learn some very simple ways to strengthen this. This is our perineal muscle, and we'll do some perineal muscle exercises and breathing exercises and movements today to facilitate that. And so this is one part of also becoming familiar with your dantian. The perineal muscle and the huiyin have this strong connection with the dantian center and are also near the center. So when we work with the perineal muscle and the earth gate, this is also, will over time become more familiar or sensitive with our dantian. And this also, when we start this process of, and some, many schools do these, or they have they call Kegel exercises or this kind of thing. But this is not, we're not trying to do something purely physical. This is we really, like, we drew these meridian, and there's meridian lines, there's energy centers here, and the energy is directional. And energy also becomes habitual in the directions or the areas that it flows to. And we're trying to facilitate some sensitivity to that process of where's our attention going, where's our energy flowing, what directions is our energy taking, and then we change that. We change that direction back to more how we were when we were children, like that. And so generally before puberty, children are very centered to their dantian, and also not have a strong ideas about sex or sexuality or this kind of thing. They haven't entered into that yet. And if you practice the alchemy path very deeply, and this really, some different aspects become more like when you were the young child, like that. Okay. So really important beginning step to train our breath and movement and strengthen and train the dantian center. That's what we're going to cover in today's class. So let's just begin first with the feet stretched out, putting the hands together. Just the centering, become quiet. Let's take a few purification breaths. Inhale from your nose. Exhale from your mouth. As you breathe in from your nose, have a sense of breathing in the clean and pure energies from the sky and nature, purifying, relaxing, cleansing the inside of your body. Breathing out from your mouth, release any tension, negativity, stress. Breathing in the new and the clean. Breathing out the old. Okay, now let's begin. Inhale up. Exhale. Breathing in up and exhale. Breathing, exhale. Breathing, exhaling. Just loosen up your spine, stretch your body up. And coming down. Let's inhale and exhale. Loosen up your shoulders. Come on, Linda, where are you? Are you there? Okay. I couldn't see you for a while. Linda brought her whole family to Japan to meet me. We had a really fun time in Japan. She came out to visit. Inhale. Exhale. So this is a really simple but really kind of loosening when we do this water element. And with the eyes, we look at the toes. So they teach that the lower part of the body and upper part of the body, generally the energies are very separated. And so when we do an exercise like this and we're looking at the feet and also touching the feet, it brings a meeting and a harmony between the lower energies and the upper energies in the body. This is also very beneficial, the kidney organ and the kidney and the urinary bladder meridians. A really good exercise. Okay, and let's do some rotations. Stretching, opening. Okay, let's do opposite circles. So here we're stretching, but also really in a very gentle way, almost like a massage technique. Really feel your rotation of your joints, so your ankles, your knees, your hips. Feel these rotations. And loosen, warming up. Okay, good. Now let's just gently grasp your heel, turn some circles, and then push your foot up towards the ceiling or towards the wall, and draw back with the hands, creating a counter force. Loosen the leg. So even maybe some people, if watching, are not flexible, you could do something like this. You could just hold. You could even a very small movement. So that's all of everything we do can be modified. Okay, I'm just to show a little full stretch here. Okay, good. Let's take the other leg. Really moving in a circle. So draw in, push up, draw in, and push up. Okay. Do a little bit of coiling dragon. So make some space between the knee line and the heel. Little channel here. Embrace yin and yang. Let's take some deep breaths, centering our body. Connecting to your dantian center. Inhale, and then exhale. Stretch out. Breathing in. Breathing out. So when I was under training with my principal teacher, almost every training session he would do variations of different warm-ups like what we're doing. We never did something that was a set or an exact. So very kind of spontaneous and a living practice. And so that's eventually, you know, I am teaching sets and sequences to follow, but later when you become skillful, you can, you learn what you need or where you're stiff, and you're able to do different movements and different combinations to warm yourself up, get your energy flowing, remove blockages, circulate the blood, centering the mind and the body. And all of these things we do when we warm up. So really extend your palms, stretch out into your palms, open your fingers, and breathing, gathering in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And come back to center. And exhale, coming down. Okay, good. Bring your feet together. So this is our white crane cleaning the wings. It's like a crane has the beak and clean their wing feathers. So we can take one arm, we're gonna push out and twist up, inhale. You stretch your spine, exhale, loosen your waist and hips, then press, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. coiling dragon on the other side. Okay. Make sure you have a little channel between the heel and your knee. Let's gather the hands together, centering to your dantian. Take a few deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, pushing up. Inhale up and exhale. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Stretch all the way into your fingertips. Really extend out. Loosen your back. Loosen your legs. Let the energy flow all the way to the legs, to the feet, to the hands. Loosening up, warming up your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, good. Inhale and exhale, coming down. Okay. It's a little massage our kidney 1 point. Loosen up this area in the ball of your foot. Also warming this area. Take some deep breaths, centering, relaxing. Just really let go of any of our life concerns or any life stress or stuff with our jobs or families. Let it all go. We're going to take a vacation, have a wonderful practice session, nurture our energies. And even pressing into this point. You can press in like shiatsu, press all the way in and releasing out. Okay, good. Now let's draw the legs in. Just place your hands to the knees. And it'll warm up our knee area and the points around the knees. The knees have a reflex to the kidneys and the lower back. And so this sometimes when we do warming and circulation massage with the knees, it's also very beneficial for the health of the kidney. So we'll begin just having a nurturing intention for our knees. And we're going to begin massaging in a circular fashion around the outside of the knee. If you could look down, I'm moving in a slight figure 8. If you looked from above, you can't really see in this way. So I'm actually really circling, much like we do in swimming dragon. We're creating a circle here and then a circle here. And if you look down on the swimming dragon form, the top of the head would also be moving in a small figure 8. And we're doing a similar circling here. And maybe you can't really feel that in the beginning, but if you just move side to side, it would be like this. But this, I'm moving with my waist, so really my waist circles out here and then circles back, and then my waist circles out. It's very subtle, but it's a circular. This isn't important to have a circular movement here. Really, and pressing with a little force to create warmth. So really like a warming of the knees. And this rocking will also relax your lower back and waist. Really good loosening exercise. Breathing deeply, centering, relaxing. Okay, good. Let's do a little horizontal movement. Stretch out your chest and upper back. Breathe naturally. Stretch. Reach up. Opening. Stretch. So here, stretch all the way into your fingertips. Really extend. Loosening. Really release the shoulders. Pull the shoulders open. Relax. Pull the shoulders. Loosening. Inhale and exhale down. Gathering your hands together. Inhale, exhale, reach out, stretch, relax. Fire element, breathing in, breathing out. Feel the stretching, the little finger all the way on the inside of the arm. Feel that line of stretch. Loosening, opening. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's come back to center. Gathering, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. And come back to center, breathing in, breathing out. Relax your body and lower the head. Okay, good. So we got warmed up, and I'm gonna adjust with my cushion. If you have a cushion, it's good to use, and raise your hip. So we'll begin. Today, we're going to begin with the Earth Gate, sealing the Earth Gate training. And then we're going to go into Dragon and Tiger. And in the beginning part of the Dragon and Tiger, we're going to try to coordinate the Earth Gate perineal muscle contractions with the movement. Okay. So in understanding this learning, as we go, these aspects of training can become more complex, and also other exercises will be combined. Okay, and so really, when you look back at the training, you can see sometimes we really develop specific attributes or specific skills or specific qualities, and then later these things are linked together. And the goal is a naturalization and effortlessness in our practice. And so this is we create a line of naturalness and artificial. And this is really important, that a lot of these beginning techniques, we really classify these as more something is artificial, is not natural. But we're in an unnatural condition now. And so sometimes we have to apply different methods to try to lead our body back to a more natural way of energy development and also natural health. Okay. And I'll say this a lot, but this is called returning to childhood in the Taoist. Okay. So in the way we're going to learn to lift and contract the perineal muscle, it's important is we're trying to create almost like a wave-like quality with this area, not like a strong contraction, strong relaxation. We're not doing that with the perineal area. So something, if I move my body, so something the perineal muscle can lift, then the perineal muscle not just relax, but also opens, okay? Or something like this, we can, okay? So we think about this idea of Dantian breathing, this is like Dantian is a sphere, and when our mind intention is in the center of Dantian, and then also the breath comes to the Dantian when we inhale, Dantian can expand, and then we exhale, Dantian can have like a contraction. And when this can happen in a more natural way, also energies collect and energies compress or condense. These condensed energies in the beginning will also return to the kidney and the Mingmen life gate point, and it starts to refill lost energy, okay? And so what we're gonna do in the beginning is we'll have two different ways that we contract the perineal muscle. So one is when we inhale, it's like the Dantian expands, but at the same time as the Dantian expanding, the perineal muscle also expands downward. And then we exhale, like your Dantian contracts, and the perineal muscle lifts up on the exhale. This is a first pattern. Then there's the second pattern, which is when we inhale, the perineal muscle lifts up. And this is almost like there's a slight contraction of the Dantian on the inhale. When we do this second pattern, this is also will facilitate drawing energy in a stronger way into the kidneys and the Mingmen point, and also start to even have energy will move up the spinal cord in this second contraction. And like I say, we'll add other techniques or other methods to this later, but this just in the beginning, we want to get in touch with the perineal muscle, and we can start to coordinate that with the way we're breathing. Also some coordination with the Dantian center and this perineal muscle contraction. With any skill like this, the learning should be slow, and don't think you're doing correctly or incorrectly, but we practice a little bit, of these contractions, and then we just let it go. You don't worry about it. And then you pick it up again, and then eventually it starts to facilitate some natural response and a natural movement, okay? So we can just begin, we can take the 5 energy gate posture. We'll relax our body. Let the teeth lightly touch, tongue pressing against the roof of the mouth. In the beginning, you can a little look in front of you with your eyes open, just looking down, gazing at the floor. Become aware of your posture. Let the spine stretch up straight. Crown is held like a string is supporting from above. Then we'll gently close the eyes. Begin gazing inwards, gathering the mind, gathering your intention, gently focusing down to your lower Dantian center in a very natural way. We want to focus with not too much strength, very gentle, very natural. We have a very nurturing intention. Don't use any kind of strength or force of concentration. Very natural, but with a caring quality of a kindness and nurturing for our inner self. Bringing balance to our life and body, bringing health to our life and body. Have a very pure feeling of sincerity within the heart center. Very, very sincere. Having a natural compassion quality. Now let's become aware. As we inhale, we can feel an expansion from the inside of the Dantian out. This can express in the lower back and the abdomen. There's an expansion as we inhale. And as we exhale, there's a natural contraction to the abdomen. So we'll inhale, naturally expand, open. And exhale, naturally contract. Inhale. And exhale. So now let's become aware as we're breathing of our perineal floor. Try to sense from the inside, not like we're looking from the outside of the body. So we're looking more from below the Dantian, inside. The inner quality of the perineal muscle. Now, as you inhale, your Dantian expands. Also feel this lower floor also expands out and down. Then exhale, this lifts up. You lift this muscle up, almost like you're lifting something up into the Dantian. And Dantian also contracts, abdomen also contracts. Inhale, expand, open. And exhale, contract, lifting up. Inhale, expand, open the perineal floor. Exhale, contract, lifting straight up and contracting the Dantian. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Okay. Good. How's that feeling for everyone? You able to follow that? Maybe you can go like this. Okay. Now, this is I just want to talk a little more here. So really there can be three things down in this area that lift. Okay. And Taoism talks about we have 9 openings in the body. Okay. So we have 2 eyes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a hole in the sexual organ and then a hole in the anus. Okay, and these are like, all of these are holes, or they call the 9 openings. And all of these is where things go out of the body. Okay, and so the ears or the eyes, this is energy goes out and intention. Okay, now when we start to lift up the perineal muscle, this later you become sensitive. Also, there's a withdrawing, like a closing of the sexual organ hole for both men and women. And then men especially will feel the testicles move. Your testicles move with this. So even the testicles lift up. The woman will feel more the inner part of the organ is a close and draw up. And then also the anal hole, this also is a closing and lift up. The anal hole have like 8 areas. And so we divide lines. And so this really have a lot of different muscles here. And so all 8 of these muscles also close and lift up. The anus in the Taoist term is called the gate of rice, or rice gate. They use this term. And this is later becomes very closed, just doesn't open when we practice. This is just kept closed, but the perineal moves. This part moves. Later, these 3 areas of the sexual organ, the anus, and the perineal muscle floor, we don't have awareness, we don't have a sensitivity, and we don't have usually skill. So you kind of feel these 3 areas all together, okay? But later, more like the sexual organ is closed, anus is closed, but the perineal floor, this has a movement, okay? Because here is actually this really like a junction point for energy to go to many different places in the body. It travels through this gate here, okay? And so this is just the kind of sensitivity and awareness. And so just to be aware that later you might have a different feelings or different sensitivities to these areas. We're just now try to enter into awareness. And also we gain attribute of this muscle. And like this. Okay? So let's begin again. Let's connect to our dantian. We can also, from the dantian, we can travel downward direction to the perineal floor, inside of the body, not outside of the body. And let's inhale again and really open up this perineal muscle. It descends down. And exhale, lifting up. So really this is energies will start to flow from this area back up into the dantian. So again, inhale, open the perineal muscle. Exhale, lifting up. Okay, good. Now let's inhale. Expand, open your perineal muscle. Exhale, lifting up, drawing up, closing this area. Inhale, open the perineal muscle. And exhale, lifting up. Okay, good. Now let's incorporate some Dragon and Tiger movement. Okay. So just don't forget what we just did, and let's get familiar with the movement, and then we're going to combine the movement with these muscular contractions with the breathing. So we're going to do three things: movement, breath, and contraction. So let's just first begin movement and breath. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, open. And exhale, coming in. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. Breathing in, opening. And breathing out, coming in. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Big breath. Pushing. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale, open. Exhale, coming in. Now, inhale, open, expand your dantian and abdomen, lower back. Exhale, contract, draw your abdomen in. Inhale, expand, open. Exhale, slightly contract. Inhale, open into the abdomen. Exhale, contract. Now let's combine with our perineal muscle. Inhale, open the perineal floor and abdomen. Exhale, contract, lift the perineal muscle up. Inhale, open the perineal muscle. Exhale, contract your perineal muscle. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, breathing in, big breath. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out, lifting up. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, open. And exhale, lift. Inhale, open. Exhale. This, over time, really will reverse the energies which go out of the earth gate, and these energies start to draw up into the dantian. This also is strengthening the earth gate. And so this will become really like a doorway which you can open and close. So you can condense energy or draw energy up. You can also open, and energy can flow from the dantian into the legs, or from dantian into the sacral bones and spine, or even from dantian to your Mingmen, kidney. All of these areas we can start to direct energy when we have more control of the earth gate. Okay, so inhale, open the perineal muscles, open the earth gate. Exhale, draw the earth gate up into the dantian. Inhale, open the perineal muscles, open the earth gate. Exhale, drawing up, gathering. Inhale, expanding. And exhale, contract. Inhale, opening. And exhale, contract. Inhale, opening. And exhale, contract. Inhale, opening. And exhale, contract. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Lift. Inhale, exhale, contracting, lift. Inhale, exhale, contracting. Inhale, opening, expanding. Exhale, contracting, lifting, gathering. Inhale, opening. Exhale, contracting, lifting, gathering. Inhale, opening. Exhale, contracting, lifting. Inhale, opening. Exhale, contracting. Inhale, opening. Exhale, contracting. Inhale, opening. Exhale, contracting. Lifting. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now let's come down, pressing to your dantian. Inhale, circling out, opening, spreading the arms. Exhale, gather the hands together. Now just a little forget about your contractions. We'll return back to this exercise. But first, work to really make sure you release the shoulders, elongate your spine, slightly tuck your chin, slightly tuck your sacral bones so the lumbar are expanded. Little work on your alignment. Make sure you're not holding tension. Feel the circularity of this posture. Really have a strong sense of circularity. Feel the palms facing towards the heart center. Now, let's return to our breath. Breathing in, feel the breath penetrates to the center of your dantian and expands out in all directions. Dantian expands. Exhale, dantian contracts. Inhale from the center of your dantian, expanding to all directions. Exhale from the dantian, contracts to the single point in the center. Inhale, expanding, opening. And exhale, contracting. Now let's combine with our perineal muscle. Inhale, expanding, open your perineal muscle. And exhale, contracting, lifting up, and turning to the center point of your dantian. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. Then after some time, little forget about your contractions and even let the focus on the breath be a little more gentle. And just focus more deeply to the center of your dantian. And really feel the expansion and contraction of your energies to the single point in the center of the dantian. And the key here is to really have a nurturing intention, very, very nurturing, not using strength, not using force. There's no competitive nature. It's very natural, very gentle. Even we can say a quality of a self-kindness. This type of naturalness we must have. Inhale, expand, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, expand, open. Exhale, contract. Inhale, expanding, opening. Exhale, contract. And after a few more rounds of contraction, forget about the contraction. Even forget about your breathing. Just nurturing the center point in your dantian. Feel expansiveness, opening of your body, expanding your energies, very, very natural. let's inhale, breathing in. Exhale, breathing out. And then draw the hands up, inhale. Exhale, gathering down to your dantian. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Inhale, gathering, opening. And exhale, contracting, coming down. Inhale, expand. Exhale, gathering, contracting. Inhale, opening. Exhale, returning to the Wuji Mudra. Just centering to your dantian very naturally. Let your energies gather, become quiet, become still, returning to your dantian. Okay, good. You'll rub your hands together, warming your hands. Place your hands over your eyes. Let this warmth come into the eyes. Have a nurturing intention for your eyes. Now, this little massage from the midpoint of your eyebrow to the corner of your temple, smoothing out this area above the eyes. Rub and press your small finger into the area on the ridge of your nose, warming up your cheeks. Smooth out this area. Now, swipe from your forehead to either cheek, really smoothing out this area. Now let's take your left hand, place on the forehead, place your right hand on your coccyx area, okay, below your lumbar. Just cup your palm, place that against the coccyx. Feel the link between these two areas. Let your energies descend and gently rub the forehead back and forth. And then pausing. And the switch sides. I'm aware of these areas. Little put your focus to the coccyx and gently rub the forehead. And relax. Focus to your coccyx area. Okay, good. Let's take the hands. Let's warm up the back of the neck. And warm up the base of your skull. Loosen up this area. Okay, good. Let's support your elbow. Let's tap the very peak part of your shoulder. Really place your thumb against the fingers so you don't damage the thumb, and you use this flat part to tap. Really release any stored tension that you have in here. Loosen this area. Okay, let's try the other side. Okay, let's tap down your arms and back. Let's try the other side. Okay, inhale. Exhale. Let's tap under your arm and down. And other side. your chest. Nurture your heart center, loosen up any tension in this area. And deep loving gratitude for yourself, for your life that we can practice. Smoothing out this area. Come down to your solar plexus. Really smoothing out any tension in this area, releasing, nurturing. All right, now abdomen, big circles. Warming up your abdomen, circling. Slowly, smaller and smaller circles. Circling below the navel. Warming up this area, circling smaller and smaller. Aware of your dantian as you're circling. Slowly become quiet. Nurture the dantian. Gathering, relaxing, and opposite direction. Circling. Big circles. Slowly, smaller and smaller circles. Below your navel, gathering. Smaller and smaller. And become quiet. Nurture the dantian. Settle your energies. Become quiet. And let's warm up your lower back. Okay, using the palms, just move up and down all the way to the base and up, really warming these areas, especially the muscles, muscle band along the spine. All these areas really warm. Little feel bouncing. Just loosen, warming up this area. And release. Open the legs. Massage down. Massaging down the inside of the legs into your feet. Bringing some nice circulation into your legs and into the feet. Letting everything move down. Okay, let's straighten out the legs. Massage around your knees. Warming up your knees. Let's tap below the knee. When you become familiar, the acupuncture point, this is called a stomach 36 point, the Zhu San Li in the Chinese. Just in the beginning, the end of the knee is here. This is your musculature is here, and just right below, kind of where the muscles insert, right here. Just tapping that area. Use strong tapping, really create some vibration. Loosen up the legs. Now let's support the knees and let the thumbs press in to the thigh. And with the hands, let's rock back and forth, tap your toes together. Really strong vibration, loosening, really loosen the legs. And little circle, loosening. Okay, good. So we just did little massage after practice today. And then we'll explain more about the tapping and the massaging. This is usually called like a regulation exercise, or these are balancing. And this becomes more important if you do really long sessions of meditation. You cannot just get up after that. You have to really reset, like a regrounding into the physical body. And also the Taoists are very careful to channel any stuck or excess energy in the head cavity, to allow that to be channeled and reprocessed down and out through the body. And generally in all of the different methods of self-massage or the regulation method, they end in the feet. The ending of the exercises, we're doing something, either a massage or a tapping with the feet. And this is over time, the Taoists discovered, especially perhaps they also saw how the Kundalini method was practiced sometimes. That can have a strong effect for energies to get trapped in the head, or different problems from any school of extended meditation. They have problems with the nervous system, and they observed many kinds of the problems. And so then over many generations, they created these rebalancing exercises we can do after we sit. But I've found these rebalancing exercises are also good. Sometimes we want to just do these by themselves. They're really good if we're having emotional condition or stress. We can do these tapping, and really wonderful. Or waking up in the morning, you do a little bit of rubbing. But just traditionally, this, sometimes masters are sitting 3 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours. They're just really sitting really intensively. And when they practice in those long sessions, and energies can sometimes get stuck, or even the body gets really like a rigid because they're not moving. So these are like a loosening. Yeah, this is good. So we introduced the Earth Gate today, and this idea, and this is really a skill. We can link the breath with this movement of the perineal floor and this contraction. The important thing is don't overdo this type of training. It's very artificial. And so generally, you want to do like 9 times or 18 times, or you have a very comfortable number of repetitions. You train this, and then you forget about it. Like that. And the important thing to think about is there's 3 things here. There's your dantian. And so that's really an art, to become sensitive to the location of your dantian and have a mental awareness in the center point of this area is one. Second is this leading of the breath to your dantian. And then we start to feel really, dantian has its own movement inside of your body. It can expand and contract. And then now we're also linking from the inside of the body, not the outside, the inside, this perineal floor, and especially this energy center here, can have a movement which is linked with your dantian. Okay, and so this was we introduced this kind of idea today. And then lastly, we did our Dragon and Tiger Qigong. Okay, with all of these elements we combined in the Dragon and Tiger form. So we combined Dantian expansion, contraction, and also the lifting and expansion of this muscle with the breath and with the movement. Okay, and we combine all of those elements together. And so we apply doing, and then we apply naturalness and non-doing. This is important. So we can concentrate, we can think about, we can focus on what I just talked about, and that's maybe 25, 30% of your practice session. Then the rest of the practice session, you want to really try to be natural and flow. And this is in like a Wu Wei, non-doing, naturalness. Okay, so this is really important. When we practice, we don't just try to artificially do something the whole time. Okay, so we do some doing, and then we let go and be natural. This is a really important deep element. Okay, so any question before we finish today?
So the intention of this practice of bringing the Huayan energy up into the Dantian is really to expand the energy center and bring more energy into it. It's just, you know, like the kidney jing is doing that, right? Moving that energy upwards.
Well, there's as we progress, these are really like attributes or skills.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you progress, different skills or different elements will be combined in the practice. But in the first thing to understand is, like, as we age as adults, this perineal floor muscle will weaken.
Yeah.
And we can really observe that. And even that as these energies become loose, become weak, also we can see the sexual response also weakens in both men and women as we age. And so even we reach the point we cannot have a sexual function at certain times. It doesn't work anymore. And this is all what is considered normal and natural by most people. But for the Taoist people, we're going to reverse that. We're going to change that. We're not going to go that direction. We're going to go different direction. And this is the first concept of Taoist practice. This is called reversal. We go backwards. Okay. So my teacher, he called this a retrace your footsteps back to the very beginning. My teacher used this term. But in many books, they just call this a reversal. And so this is, we understand that this area will become weak. This we see really many people at certain age, like they start to have a urine will drip from the sexual organs because this is all became very open and weak. So this, we have to start to gather this area and strengthen. And so this usually is called sealing the earth gate. And this is, it gets so strong really, if we want, this whole area can like be closed and nothing goes out. And then we can really build energy in this center. Okay. And so it's that kind of an idea, but actually this is also a doorway. This is like a juncture point for the spiritual vessel meridians in the legs. This area is a juncture point for energy to go into the coccyx and the spine. Okay, and so we need to become very, very familiar with this area. So also in other exercises, we can move energy from the Dantian, for example, into the spine, or we can move energy from the Dantian into the legs, into the energy gate of the foot. There are many different exercises, and this is sometimes called a Neigong. It means the inner method or inner work. We do work inside of the body. And so if we don't have this really good skill with the perineal muscle and with this energy center of the Huayan, in Chinese, we just call this Huayan point. We can't do these other exercises. Okay. So it's really like a building process, but it's important we get, it's a skill, And we're also reactivating the musculature and changing the energy. So this also is energy from the dantian and kidneys will drop down into the huiyin and then go into the sexual organs.
Right.
And then usually even if we don't have sex, even we're walking around or we're shopping, energy flows out of this area for most people. It's just like it's an open door. Even we're not aware of that, and so this stuff is flowing out. And so we start to become aware of that, and so we're instead of this direction out, we're learning that we can go like this. So there's this direction out, and then okay, we can also come up. This is what we do in this exercise.
Do you think that has an effect on the hormones as well once you restore or conserve that energy?
Absolutely. There's a huge effect to all of our hormonal centers from doing Taoist yoga.
That's interesting.
Yes,
yeah.
It's really, really wonderful, and gets very, very technical. These exercises are very focused, very technical, very organized. But it's just important if you, for example, did too many contractions, or even if this was too strong, nothing will happen. There's not a lot of benefit. And so that's the real art, is to learn how to do a little. We do enough. We do a little bit, we do enough, and we do it in a really natural way, and then we totally let it go. Have no concern at all. Then a natural process starts to take place inside the body. And so this is really, we can use, this is the middle way, the middle path. We're not going to the far left, we're not going to the far right. We're walking down this middle way. And so it's really finding balance and the ability to find a naturalness.
Nice.
And so that's my teacher used to say, this is like a concentration and doing, and then we learn also to not concentrate and not do. We do both of these.
Cool. Thank you. That's awesome.
We doing, concentrating, then okay, I can completely let go of concentration and just be totally natural.
Nice. Okay.
And so usually this is like when we practice in the beginning, we're focusing on something, we're concentrating, okay, and then I can just let that go and be natural.
Nice.
Then later, you know, even if we practice long enough, we just completely natural. It's a really effortless. And so this in the beginning, there can be a lot of effort and doing. And then later, as we practice more and more, it becomes really natural. Like that. And this is for the Taoist approach. We want to reach the island of naturalness. So really, my teachers just say, this is like we have a boat. So we build this boat, and then we use this boat. We go across the water to the island, but we're on the island. We don't carry the boat anymore. We let go of the boat. We don't need this boat. And then we enjoy the fruits on the island and the scenery. Just like that. Yeah, that's a real art. And this, when I was studying with my teacher, he never called what we do Qigong or any of these Chinese terms. He just said, I'm teaching you how to practice. This is how to practice. And so that's a real art, is to learn how do you train yourself? How can you practice to make development, to develop energy, to develop these internal abilities, internal process. And this is we can.
I was just going to say, I like the term inner alchemy. So I guess you could call it an inner alchemy.
This is a system of inner alchemy. This is an inner alchemical approach.
In the transformation.
Yeah. And so then that just depends how deeply you go and how deeply you practice. And from important thing, inner alchemy school, beginning first is we have to do physical transformation of the body. Okay. This is first thing. That's why we have movements, stretches. And then we also learn how to concentrate. Okay, and so how to focus of the mind, will, intention. And the third is also there's a process of heart purification and heart transformation. These are like some basic things, basic areas.
Yeah, cool.
And just depends what people like and how much you want to go, how deep you go into the practice. And my experience, it's important to be very gentle. Don't do too much in the beginning. And you really build up slowly, because we want to think this is a really long journey.
Sure.
We're on a very long-term journey. We don't need to hurry, and we can learn little by little, and we apply slowly. And right now, there's a lot of different pieces to what we're doing. And sometimes you don't see how do these pieces fit together. But later, all of this really actually seamlessly fits together. All of these things harmonize together, and it makes sense like that.
Nina's really enjoying the practice, by the way.
Oh, good. I'm so happy.
Yeah. She said, I really love Jesse's practice, so that's cool. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah, awesome. You're welcome. Anytime. We're all friends and family, so that's important. Okay, so see you guys all next time. Thank you for coming. It's really great to have everyone here together.
That was a great practice. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
So in summary today, so we really focused on the Dragon and Tiger Qigong. Later we can learn also this. We're doing the seated version. This has a standing version, which is a little more physical. We can learn that later. This is a really important training method that you can gain a lot of different ability and development from this method. Okay. So this is simple. You can really have a lot of development from the Dragon and Tiger. Yeah. And today we focus being sensitive to the expansion and contraction of the Dantian in combination with movement and breath. And then third, we linked that with this contraction and expansion of your perineal floor. Okay. And so this is actually a lot. This is a lot of different elements. And so you need to repeat and practice that and play with that. Don't be stressed. You know, really be natural, play with that, feeling, discovering your body, discovering your movement, discovering your breath. And then those elements will harmonize and combine. And then when that combination happens, you'll really have a different sense of your internal and also different sense of your energy, like that. Okay, so.